it's pretty stressful being a board director. You would know this. I know this. There's a lot. You're always trying to figure out what problem you haven't thought of, and you're reading those papers and you're searching in those numbers, where's the smoking gun, what's the thing I should be looking for. But the reality is there are a few things that you are primarily responsible for, and historically, we'll probably talk about respect at work, but one of the things that was really clear is that when we did the Respect to Work inquiry, look specifically at sexual harassment. We did a survey not long after that report came out looking at the ASX 200, and only 18% of the boards in the ASX 200 thought it was their responsibility.
Wow.
2 years later, 83% knew it was their responsibility, and the reforms to the law absolutely really moved that up the line. But it was always their responsibility because sexual harassment is a workplace safety issue, and they knew that they were responsible for workplace safety. So the first thing is, for boards, you don't need to know everything, but you need to know what you're responsible for. And then you need to have a lot of work we did on respect at work is you're not responsible to know who did what to whom. You're responsible to know about the oversight and governance. Are there systems in place to make sure you've identified the risk factors and addressed them? Is there a complaint process that works for staff? Have you got, effective systems in place? So boards think what happened with sexual harassment was everyone's like, oh, someone's having an affair. I don't want to know about it. And it's like, no, it's not the job of the board to discuss whether he's a good bloke and whether he should lose his job or not. It's the job of the board to know that the systems are in place, that it's dealt with appropriately, that staff know, what the expectations are, and that it's not a problem that only becomes a problem when someone actually complains about it. So one of the other things that I noted when we did that review, the research on the ASX 200, we did some interviews and we talked to a range of people, executives, company secretaries, and also boards, but particularly in the organizations. And I noted, and she's now, I will say her name, and she's now a governor general, but there are a number of those boards who said, because Sam Mostyn asks questions on the board. And so the realization is there was some point where it wasn't always, but just it happened. The boards I was on, she was on a couple of them. It was, if someone on the board knows to ask questions about this topic, then it turns the attention and it gave permission. And there was a couple of seriously good organizations where the company secretary said, we are able to really lean into this because one of the board members showed enough interest to ask the question. So one of our recommendations out of that was to say, you don't all have to know everything. It is good if you've got someone who knows a bit more, but find a way. But you just need to know enough, like you need to know enough on your finances. You need to know enough about the people stuff. And a lot of boards, if you look at their board bios, it tells you all about their industry experience and their financial nous, and not many of it say, not many of the top level say, and a really good track record of treating people well and HR experience, and we should value that expertise is valuable.